Hi, my name is Sarah. I am one of the WIDA fellows for this year, along with Abel Fazl. And today I'm talking with Todd Bridges to talk about this at WODCon. So if you could talk about your background information and what sort of got you into the WODCon WIDA sphere.
Yeah, I'm happy to do so, Sarah. Thanks. For 30 years, worked for the Army Corps of Engineers. I was the senior research scientist for environmental science, and I worked my entire career in the space of dredging and sediment management. And over about the last 13, 14 years of my career, I was leading our work in what we called in the Corps of Engineers engineering with nature, which is basically about the development of nature-based solutions. So my background in sediment management and dredging, and now this emerging field of natural infrastructure and nature-based solutions was a very happy marriage. And I've known Ram Mohan, my co-organizer with this course, for more than 20 years. And Ram has a very extensive background in dredging and engineering and operational practices. So it's another happy marriage between Ram and myself in this space. And what better venue than WODCon, which brings together practitioners and subject matter experts from all over the world in this vital field of marine construction. It's a great venue to have a course on this topic.
Yeah, absolutely. So the course is called Nature-Based Solutions Implementation, Progress, and Proof Through Practice. Could you talk more about the course in particular and what sort of topics you focus on and highlight?
Certainly. We wanted to give focus to practice itself, since the venue, the event of WODCon brings together practitioners in marine construction and the dredging industry, among others, in engineering companies that support these kinds of projects from around the world. So we wanted to give emphasis to the building, to the doing of these projects. There's a lot of science and policy in this space, a whole range of other kind of orbiting topics, but we're focused here in this course on projects that have been built and the experience that is accumulating within the industry in designing, engineering, and constructing these projects. And what are we learning from that? There have been many projects that perfectly fit the definition of a nature-based solution that are decades old. And some of those projects, no doubt, will be highlighted in the short course. So what are we learning from this? What obstacles have been encountered? How were those obstacles overcome? And what are we learning, and how are we integrating that learning into the field of engineering and constructing nature-based solutions? That's what the course is about.
Yeah, great. That sounds very interesting. For the who is like your intended audience for the course in particular?
Well, because again, it's at WODCon, we're focused on practitioners. I suspect that that's going to be most of who will be drawn into this, but we're not being particularly selective in that regard. So if we have, a regulator or an environmental scientist from a resource agency, I mean, they would be welcome and would be, unicorns probably in the course, and be able to provide additional perspectives. But I think the majority of people will be from the industry, interested in having a dialogue with their colleagues and other companies or in other organizations that are doing this kind of work, and how we are collectively learning from each other. Both Ram and I have had the benefit of visiting dozens and dozens of projects that meet this definition across the United States and around the world. And there's such a tremendous benefit that comes from sharing experience in developing and implementing these projects. So we don't necessarily always have a lot of opportunity to pause for a moment and share experience across projects. So that's what we're intending to accomplish with the course.
Yeah, that sounds great. And is there any other information that you think our people should know, or any other sort of things?
Well, I hope that we have a good showing of participants in the course, because this is literally a case where the more the merrier, because Ram and I are being very deliberate in structuring within the course itself the agenda for the course, ample time for discussion and sharing. So it's not just going to be, come to the classroom, sit down and listen to 8 hours of lecture. We're not going to have a course like that. We're going to present information, and all of our presenters are going to be presenting information, and then we're going to have structured time to discuss the project and what the presenter shared, and try to integrate across all of these experiences that are shared. So it's going to be a very interactive experience. And so I hope that this will draw additional participants here. We're not, expecting people to show up with sharp pencils and just sit and be quiet all day. We want the attendees, the so-called students, to actively participate in this discussion, because they'll have their own experiences to share. And Ram and I intend to actually capture the ideas and the thoughts that are offered during this discussion, and summarizing that after this short course, so we can share across those who participate in the course, and beyond that, those who actually didn't, by publishing kind of, here's our reading on this is what we heard when we had this course, and this is the contribution of the presenters as well as those who participated as students or attendees, if you will.
Yeah, well, that sounds great. Thank you so much for talking with me and sharing about your course and your background and everything. So the course again is called Nature-Based Solutions Implementation, Progress Improved Through Practice, and it is on Monday, June 23rd, and it is $400, and you get 8 professional development hours. So thank you.
Come join the fun.
Yes.